This is WLKY. Live, local, late breaking. Your complete news coverage for Greater Louisville starts right now.
As Boston holds vigils and tries to return to normal, the 19-year-old marathon bombing suspect has yet to be charged. But his arrest brought a sigh of relief to local law enforcement and many of those attending this year's Thunder over Louisville. Another spectacular Thunder fireworks show is in the books. Metro Police report few problems. As of 8 p.m., only 2 arrests have been made. And Thunder goers didn't seem to mind the absence of military aircraft due to budget restraints in Washington. There was still plenty to see and do on both sides of the Ohio. Good evening, everyone. I'm Steve Bergen. Right now, the mass exodus out of downtown Louisville is underway. We begin our Thunder coverage with a view from the WLKY news chopper of traffic, and you're looking at the area around 1st and Main Streets. We've been listening to the police scanners this evening. We did hear a report of a pedestrian struck at Preston and Market Streets. That was about 20 minutes ago, but there's no word on the extent of injuries. Certainly, if you have a family member or friend who attended the show, it may take them a while to get back home. According to the Kentucky Derby Festival, the crowd was estimated at more than 500,000. And by the way, the 2nd Street Bridge will remain closed until 2 tomorrow afternoon. We'll bring you another live update on traffic in a few moments. Now let's head back to the Waterfront Park. WLKY's Erica Coghill is live there with reaction to the fireworks spectacular.
Steve, no one I spoke with seemed dissatisfied with this year's Thunder. I actually spoke with one family who recently moved here from Michigan. This was their very first Thunder. They say they were just absolutely blown away by what Louisville's got to offer.
I've been to a lot of fireworks in 52 years, and wow. You guys smoked it. You hit it, perfect. This is the way it should be all the time. Boy, I got a whole new look on Louisville.
It's nothing I've ever seen before. This blows everything out of the water. I've seen fireworks before, and this is great.
My favorite part was the hearts and the fireworks. It was amazing. It was beautiful down here.
It was really cool. It seemed a lot longer than usual.
The finale this year was twice as long as last year, and it was beautiful. What do you think?
Wow.
The best part was the part that I actually thought it was over for the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th time I've been here, and then it got me again with the finale.
It was really cool how they showed all the different musics and styles.
I especially like when they lit up the bridge, but all of it was just spectacular. They're awesome. I mean, it's Thunder, you know? It's ready to kick off Derby. Yeah, everything.
We have been here all day. It was a great day. Everything was calm, safe.
Now, those last 2 women that spoke in that story, they were decked out in Boston gear. They say they have family in Boston, and coming out today was very important for them to show that despite what happened in Boston, they were not scared to attend a big crowded event like Thunder over Louisville. And now that we've kicked off Derby festivities, it's time to clean up here at Thunder. There's a lot of trash back there, as you can see. Reporting live here at Waterfront Park, I'm Erica Coghill, WLKY News.
Thanks, Erica, and we'll show you more of those fireworks in a few moments. Pausing to remember the tragedy in Boston, just part of today's air show over the Ohio River. WLKY's Daniel Kipp reports it was a tribute well received by Thunder goers.
In a showing of remembrance and respect, stunt pilots perform a missing man formation as a tribute to the tragedy in Boston. It's a solemn start to Saturday's air show that also included a playing of the song Sweet Caroline.
It's a big tragedy that we're all still going through right now, and we actually thought about not coming, but thankfully we were able to today.
While federal budget cuts kept military planes out of the skies this year, it didn't stop some new civilian acts from putting on a high-flying show that satisfied most.
It's not hugely disappointing. The kids won't notice a big difference because they like any planes.
And those planes brought many Thundergoers out early. Sean Arnett had claimed his coveted spot near the waterfront by 9 a.m.
And we figured that a bunch of people would be here, you know, obviously now, but we just want to get a spot close to the air show. So.
Sean was one of the thousands of people who crowded onto the Great Lawn amid all the fun and all the food.
Italian sausage, Polish sausage, corn dogs.
A person can stand.
Chicken on a stick, blooming onion, nachos.
And after a cloudy and chilly 2012 for both the vendors and crowds, this year's air show had the weather that did not disappoint.
It's usually cold and raining, and this is nice.
I'm Daniel Count, WLKY News.
It seemed to be a late arriving crowd, but as WLKY's Natalie Grice reports, there were many who were up at the crack of dawn.
For veterans of the country's largest annual fireworks display, scouting out the perfect vantage point is all about one thing: location, location, location. The best spots go fast, some before 7 a.m.
Waterfront, it's, you know, not inside the chow wagon, so I can have my grill. Corner lot.
Did you guys get the best seats in the house?
Yes, we did. First one's out here.
You got the bridge right there. They pull a barge right here, so you can feel them when they go off. You can feel them in your chest. So it's the perfect spot.
Brian Higdon staked out this spot year after year. It's not next to the river. It's next to a picnic table, and for good reason. The 8-time Thunder vet says the day is just as much about food as it is fireworks.
We've done pork roast before. This is the first year we've done the Low Country boil. One year we did grilled salmon. So we want to be the best eating people here at Thunder. So that's the goal.
The grill gets going early and often for Deanna Phipps and her family. She's ready to serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner to 30 friends, plus whatever new ones she meets this year in her favorite spot. It's an 18-year tradition that's part picnic, part birthday party for her son, Micah.
He was born one day before Thunder. He watched his first Thunder from Suburban Hospital, and we've been coming ever since.
My favorite part is when we get to all sing happy birthday for Micah.
The tradition continues for these early birds, rolling in hours before the first fireworks. It's the beginning of a long day, but for them, laying claim to the perfect place is certainly worth the wait. Natalie Grice, WLKY News.
And as we head to break, another live look at Thunder traffic from the WLKY News Chopper. You're looking at bumper-to-bumper traffic along River Road, just one of the several ways to escape the downtown area. Slow going, but no major problems. Also coming up, an evening of vigils in Boston and the latest on the marathon bombing suspect. You are watching WLKY News.
Satellite imagery shows what we had earlier in the day. Lots of sunshine, no clouds around for now, but thick cloud cover toward the west in the plains. Heading our way for your Sunday. Does that mean rain chances for your Sunday? I'll tell you coming up.
Your live, local, late-breaking coverage for Greater Louisville continues right now.
A 32-year-old man is dead after he was ejected from a golf cart around 12:30 this morning in Jeffersonville. Detective Todd Hollis tells WLKY News Chad Anderson was rushed to University Hospital where he died from head injuries. The driver of the golf cart, 33-year-old Matthew Myers, is charged with operating while intoxicated, causing serious injury or death. Police say alcohol was found in that cart. The accident happened in the 200 block of Spring Street. In Pike County, Kentucky, this man is arrested for DUI after state police say they found him driving an ambulance. According to troopers, Jeffrey Ignite was weaving on State Road 319 and hit a guardrail. Ignite is from Hazard. A bad accident this afternoon on the Snyder Freeway near the Taylorsville Road exit involving two vehicles. A pickup truck flipped, smashing the roof before landing right side up. Firefighters had to cut the roof away to make that rescue. 5 people were injured. Traffic in the area was tied up for some time while Metro Police investigated. A murder arrest in Taylor County, Kentucky. It happened in Camelsville. That's a couple of hours south of Louisville. Richard Riggs is accused of the shooting death of 60-year-old Orvie Carl Harris. Investigators say it happened during an altercation at Harris's home. The 56-year-old Riggs, who fled the scene, was arrested at his residence on Maple Road. Vigils were held tonight in Boston for the victims of the marathon bombing. Meanwhile, the 19-year-old suspect remains in serious condition. Adriana Diaz reports he will soon face a special interrogation team.
Police are standing guard outside of the Boston hospital where the surviving suspect in the marathon bombings is being treated. A special interrogation team used on high-value targets is there waiting to question 19-year-old Johar Tsarnaev when he's able to talk.
We have a million questions, and those questions need to be answered.
Police captured Tsarnaev Friday night after nearly a day-long search. Images from heat-sensing technology showed he was hiding in a boat in a backyard in Watertown. After a shootout with police, Tsarnaev climbed out. Investigators tell CBS News he had bullet wounds to his leg and neck and may have tried to kill himself. His older brother Tamerlan, the second suspect, died early Friday after another firefight with police. In 2011, the FBI interviewed Tamerlan when the Russian government flagged him as a follower of radical Islam. Their uncle says Tamerlan had changed over the years.
It was different, Tamerlan, seeing no purpose in life but a pursue path of God.
The people here in Massachusetts have been rallying around the victims all week. Well-wishers have come to this memorial in downtown Boston to leave mementos. Chris Kennedy says the tragedy united his community.
It'll just make the city stronger and closer and give us appreciate all our fellow citizens more.
Many here say they're glad this week is over so life can get back to normal. Adriana Diaz, CBS News, Boston.
A deadly avalanche about 45 miles west of Denver.
All 5 deceased. We don't know just yet if it's a male, female, where they're from, that kind of information. We understand from
the 5 were snowboarding on Loveland Pass when they were killed. The condition of a lone survivor has not been released. The pass, with its elevation of nearly 12,000 feet, is a popular spot for both snowboarders and skiers. An earthquake, which left at least 41 dead in Pakistan, prompts angry protests that the government is not doing enough. That quake registered 7.8.
This is what people here call home now. No walls, no rooms, no roof over their heads. At least 1,000 homes in this town alone have been destroyed or damaged, making them uninhabitable. Homes reduced to piles of bricks. When the quake struck, Haji Atalla's wife ran inside their home to save their grandchild. He tells me that after she ran in, the roof suddenly collapsed. She was buried alive. Thankfully, my granddaughter escaped from the other room, but how will I live without her? I can't believe she's gone. This family has made a makeshift shelter from sticks and what little they could salvage from the rubble. This used to be a thriving marketplace, but now it's been shut down for days with very little food and water getting into the area. The military has been spearheading relief efforts. The local FC paramilitary forces barracks have also collapsed. They've distributed tons of food, medicines and hundreds of tents. The UN has offered help if Pakistan needs it. The men on the ground here say they need more aid.
Yes, we do need support because up till now, all the work which we have done, it is primarily on by FC and Army with their mutual contribution. So we need civil administration to come on the front and help us. We need NGOs to come along.
Those seriously injured have been airlifted to Quetta City, the provincial capital.
For a boy of 5 years, he was critical, internally bleeding. He was going into hypovolemic shock, and thank God, my pediatric surgeon, he operated very well. He is stable now.
The relatively low death toll belies the extent of the damage. The people here are now wondering how they will rebuild their homes and lives, homeless, facing months ahead in the searing summer heat. Saima Mohsin, Mashkel, on the Pakistan-Iran border.
An earthquake also hit eastern China this weekend, killing at least 124 people.
Now, your WLKY weather with meteorologist Jared Heil.
A waterfront park is all cleared out now. All that's left is the trash from, of course, all of the people that were down there earlier in the day. Thunder over Louisville 2013 in the books as we pull out from the WLKY News Chopper. A beautiful view of downtown Louisville and the skyline here late on this Saturday evening. The weather today not too bad. We saw highs in the upper part of the 50s, and considering the last couple of years in the record books for Thunder weather, this was not too bad, that's for sure, even though temps were below normal for mid to late April. Here is the history of Thunder weather the last 5 years. We had one blip of warmth in 2009 and a couple of years before that as well. Then 2010, the 60s, 40s in 2011. We can attest to that. That was the year that WLKY had Thunder over Louisville coverage. We had some sleet and rain. Last year, the air show was affected by low ceilings, highs in the 50s. So we'll take the sunshine we had earlier in the day with the highs in the upper 50s earlier this afternoon. Mid and upper 40s across the region right now. It is cool, that's for sure. It feels like the lower 40s because of the breeze that's still up north-northeast now at right around 10 miles per hour, sending the smoke from the fireworks toward Kentucky earlier on this Saturday evening. Even colder toward the north, below freezing in that dark shade of blue across Michigan. Elsewhere, upper 30s from Indianapolis northward and upper 40s from Louisville, and points on off toward the south, where highs did reach the lower 60s earlier in the day across Tennessee and Arkansas. Some high clouds now moving in from the west. So it's a quick moving weather pattern. High pressure is in charge for now, but you notice some moisture well toward the west of us. Much of this, if not all of it, is not hitting the ground in terms of any rain or snow because the air is very dry at the surface, courtesy of this zone of high pressure. But with the mainly clear skies tonight and the dry air we have, temperatures will really start to fall later on, especially outside the heat island, and that's why we have widespread frost and freeze advisories. The freeze warnings toward the north of Louisville with frost advisories for the rest of the viewing area. With that in mind, here are your lows overnight tonight. We're talking about near 40 in the downtown area. Elsewhere, lower to mid 30s, with the best chance of frost outside the city with those colder temperatures to start your Sunday morning. Now your Sunday forecast. The clouds hang around off and on. We'll see partly sunny skies and highs in the lower to mid 60s if you're lucky. We'll see a high of 63 here in Louisville, lower 60s toward the north and northeast of town. By your Monday, a cold front is approaching toward the west of us. It's not going to make it, though, until Tuesday. Very slow-moving storm system, so temperatures will start to warm once again. We'll see a southeast breeze. Not too bad there. A high near 70 on Monday, lower 70s on Tuesday before the rain gets here, and that front will arrive Tuesday night and Wednesday morning, we think, with good rain chances and some storms at that time. Here's your Sunday forecast in detail. Have a great day out there. In the morning, we're at 40 in town. Colder outside the city, partly sunny skies throughout. 54 degrees at noon, your high in the lower part of the 60s. Here's your 7-day forecast. Low 70s Monday and Tuesday. That's the way it goes, Steve. Back to work and school, and the weather gets nice again. Good rain chances Tuesday into your Wednesday, then cooler toward Wednesday afternoon. Maybe another rain chance toward Friday and next Saturday.
All right, Jared, thanks. Coming up, Bobby Petrino runs his first spring game at WKU, and there were several Wildcats and a Hoosier at the Nike Hoop Summit. Keith Farmer has sports coming up.
Live with Keith Farmer, this is WLKY Sports.
The Nike Hoop Summit brings some of the best high school talent together as the United States goes against the world. And there were quite a few future Wildcats involved in this one, including Andrew Harrison and also a guy they'd like to get. Well, this one is actually Carl Towns. He is going to be a Wildcat in 2014. And then look at Julius Randle with the big slam, as it was the world winning at 112-98. How about the Coolmore Lexington Stakes today? Down at Keeneland, Winning Cause would come through to win this one. Julian LePeroux, well, he was the jockey. He took both the Bluegrass Stakes and the Lexington Stakes. Congrats to him. Also, it was Bobby Petrino in Western Kentucky holding their spring game, the first for Coach Petrino. Brandon Doughty, well, he seemed to like the connection with Willie McNeil. 3 touchdowns between the pair as the red team beats the white team 42-3. Bronson Arroyo getting the strikeout. He now has 1,000 strikeouts as a Cincinnati Red. And Brandon Phillips would win this one as actually Zach Cozart had a little bit of a scare today. He had his finger pinched there. No broken bones. He is day-to-day. Should be able to continue on. Brandon Phillips would win this one. in the 13th inning with the sacrifice fly as Shin Soo Chu is able to come in from third. Reds win it 3-2 in 13. Coming up on Sports Saturday, the Bats also play today on this Thunder Day. The NBA playoffs began. We'll show you a couple of those. And also the latest in the NBA draft projections. Russ Smith from the University of Louisville still trying to decide if he wants to stay or go.
Come on, Russ. Stick around for another year.
One more year.
Just one more year. Thanks, Keith. All right. More Thunder fireworks when WLKY News continues. But first, let's take a look at tonight's winning Powerball numbers. And before we get you to Sports Saturday, we want to give you one more look at Thunder fireworks. Thanks for making WLKY your first choice for news.